I'm not where I want to be yet, but I know for a fact that I'm not going to get there by letting myself get punched in the face all day long just by thinking about my fears. It's not going to help at all. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Xuan Kai and I'm a day trader from Singapore. So for today, the motivational quote will be, don't be pushed around by your fears in your mind, be led by the dreams in your heart. And this is by Roy T. Bennett. So for the longest time, I have really been struggling a lot with trading. It has still been very inconsistent for me in terms of income, and I find myself having so many doubts, fears and anxiety recently about trading. So I realized that I've also been letting myself get abused and pushed around by my fears. Fears are mostly unfounded and they are definitely not true, but usually we keep visualizing these things in our mind and we create a certain self-fulfilling prophecy where we keep thinking about our fears, and it definitely, after all that thinking, it manifests because of that. So I'm now going to try harder in order to trust in myself and the process. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I know for a fact that I'm not going to get there by letting myself get punched in the face all day long just by thinking about my fears. It's not going to help at all. Instead, I'm going to slowly improve a little bit every single day so that I can get closer to the dream in my mind. So I took a total of 2 day trades today and both of them were losers, so I felt a little bit disappointed today. However, if you watch afterwards, if you watch all the way to the end to the journaling process, you realize that I actually didn't do anything wrong at all, but just that the trades didn't work out in my favor. So if you don't want to get pushed around by your fears as well, the perfect way to start living your lives would be to smash that button down below, smash the like button down below and subscribe to join the YouTube family, because we are growing bigger and bigger every day. So with that, let's get into today's video. So I was watching 2 stocks for today, MXIM and Uber. But before that, we're going to start with the analysis for the market. You have NQ on the left and SPY on the right. This is the 5-minute time frame. You can see the NQ pushed up quite nicely and then started going sideways after that. So there was no clear direction. Over here, it could go higher or it could go lower. Nobody really knows. But for SPY wise, it is pretty, it's a lot more obvious. You can see that it's pushed up quite nicely, pulled back, and then looks like it's pushing up again. So when the market opens, it seems like it's going to push up higher. So I said before, I was watching MXIM and Uber. So MXIM, you can see over here, pushed up quite nicely, pulled back, and then moving sideways for now. MXIM, this is a new all-time high on the daily time frame, so that's quite nice. You can see the MXIM is uptrending, and the catalyst for it is that Analog Devices and MXIM said on Monday that they have just received antitrust clearance from China's State Administration for market regulation. So basically it's a good catalyst, and that's why it's pushing up, making a new new all-time high, and it's pushing up further. So there's a lot of sort of room and for it to move higher after the market opens. And then the other one I was watching would be Uber. You can see for Uber wise, Uber is downtrending, right? Quite nice downtrend, sideways, and then push down lower. But now it looks like it's sort of picking back up steam, but basically it was downtrending, and it was because Uber was offering the shareholders. Some shareholders were selling their stock for nearly 25.3 million shares of the company's stock, and Uber shares was also trading lower because a California judge ruled that classifying their gig workers as independent contractors rather than employees is unconstitutional. So basically it's just a negative catalyst for Uber, which is resulting in why Uber is pushing down for today. So both look pretty good for the downside. Nothing too crazy for the market. There's not much catalyst for today. It's just these 2 stocks that I'm watching. So I'm just going to go through the live trades are a little bit too long, so I'm just going to go through my entries and exits on the particular stock itself by going through the charts. So you can see for Uber wise, when it started to open up, this was a very nice candle when it opened up, and then when it opened up, you can see that over here it pushed all the way up to around 39.6, 39.7, and then make a low of 39. So where I wanted to enter was at the break of the low of day, which was at 39. So I entered on this second candle for the break of 39, and my profit target was around the 38.4 area for the first profit target. But after that, we can see the next candle, it pushed down nicely in my direction, but then afterwards it spiked back up again. And the next candle spiked up again, and it just almost touched my stop loss. But because this was a huge spike, I didn't want to get sort of stopped out on spike, so I wanted to wait for it to cool down. You can see it spiked up a little again, and I was waiting for a pullback. and then this was the pullback that I was waiting for, like a pullback candle for it to slow down. And then if it really breaks this high of day, which is I put my new stop loss around the 40.01 region, which is why you see these two red lines over here. My initial stop was 39.6, but after it spiked against me, I wanted it to give it some space, let it cool down a bit, and then if it continue to push higher, then I'll get stopped out over there. I'll potentially lose a little bit more, but I think I'm quite okay with that. I just don't want to get sort of spooked out, because over here you can see that it could have spiked up against me and then quickly reverse direction and go in my favor, but it just didn't do that. So my new stop loss was 40.01. So give it another candle and boom, it hit 40.01, and this is where I exited. I entered this with 83 shares for this. I wanted to risk $50, but because I moved my stop loss up, I was actually down for about $83 for this trade. Yep. So nothing too crazy, but it just didn't work out for me. Good catalysts, good entries. I think good exit as well. It didn't go in my favor, so nothing much I can do. You can see that after that, Uber kind of moved sideways. Yep, kind of moved sideways, maybe move in my direction. Started moving in my direction a little bit, but nothing too crazy. It just continued to grind up for the rest of the day. So I'm actually quite glad that I wasn't stubborn. I cut my losses over there. Yeah. So the other one was MXIM. So both of these trades were kind of so-called losers, you can say. So nothing too much I can do about them. For MXIM, you can see that at the start it pushed up very strongly for MXIM. Pushed up quite nicely and then it pulled back. So I was thinking if it could break this 108.43 high of day, it will likely continue higher because of the catalyst. So I entered on this candle over here. I entered here on this candle, and then my stop loss was 107.63 below the pullback. Yeah, so it basically sort of touched that area and then it started to push down again. So kind of felt like I wasn't really getting much of a break. It kind of just hit my entry and then start to push back down again towards my exit again. So you can see sort of lingered around, went sideways for a while, still going sideways, nothing too crazy, just moving sideways for quite a bit, and then started to push down. So this is where you feel like it's quite likely that it's going to hit my stop loss. Usually when you go so near, it usually will start to hit the stop loss, and the next candle is where I exited when it hit my stop loss. So I think for this trade I lost about $54. Yep. So nothing too crazy, nothing much I can do about it. It just didn't work out in my favor. As you can see throughout the day, the computer's lagging a little bit, but let's see, throughout the day didn't really have much movement. You can see it actually pushed down even lower. No strong momentum at all, so it really just didn't work out in my favor, and I'm just glad I got out when I was able to, and I stuck to my stop losses and my risk management, which is what saved me for today. Yeah, so definitely to go on to the journaling part, it was a big red day for me, and the first trade I took was on the Uber trade. Yep. Was supposed to lose lesser on this trade, but because I moved the stop loss up because I didn't want to get taken out on spikes, I lost a little bit more on this one. So for this one, entry was 39, stop loss was 39.6, but the eventual stop loss was 40.01. Take profit was 38.4, position size was 83 shares, and I lost a total of $85. You can sort of round up. Yeah, I think entry was okay. Stop loss, maybe I could have been a little bit lower because of this big spike, but I think I'm quite okay with this. But it just came down so quickly, I couldn't really do much about it, and I just set my stop loss at a reasonable level, but the trade reversed against me, and quite strongly as well. So I stuck to my guns and waited for a proper pullback and exited without panicking and exiting on this spike up over here. Yeah, so for the next one was the MXIM trade. Yep. So this one was 63 shares. Entry 108.43, which was the high of the day. Stop loss was 107.63. Take profit 109.24 and 110.07. So this one, position size of 63 shares, and the total loss was $54.77. I think entry was okay for this one. I waited for a nice pullback before entering for the break of the high of the day. It just reversed on me and stopped me out. There's nothing much I can really do about that, but I think I was quite disciplined to exit my trades at the stop stop losses as well. Yeah, so I guess some things that I did well, I entered quite nicely, exited quite nicely as well, and I waited for the pullback for the Uber trade before I exited, and I did not panic sell for that trade as well. So definitely some things to work on would be my emotional management. I think in terms of executions wise, I mentioned previously in the video, I executed really well today. I didn't make much mistakes today actually. I entered on time, exited on time. I took the trade where they make sense and exited when they went against me. So that was all on it. However, emotionally I was a bit affected at the end of the day because I saw that I was like down like 140 bucks for the day. And I again felt a bit demoralized. Yeah, and there are winning streaks, there are also losing streaks. So I don't have to be so hard on myself. Losing is necessary in this game. So don't be too affected by these things. I just gotta keep my head up high and trust in myself and the process. Ultimately, I survived today because of risk management. So if I want to continue onwards, I need to continue with this good risk management, and things should work out in my favor if I keep trading this catalyst stock. Yeah, so if you watch all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button down below and subscribe to my channel in order to join the YouTube family. And definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think of this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!